Load. Okay. No, never mind. Okay, test 1 2 test 1 2 measure test 1 2 test. Test 1 2 test 1 2 measure test 1 2 test. Test 1 2 test 1 2 measure test 1 2 test. Oh, hello. Okay, volume is good, audio is good. Let's start. Okay, let me just inform everyone. Yo, hello. So today will be the first test one, basically, where I'll be talking about the math stuff, where it will be a public stream basically. So there's no wasting time. This is intended to be the revision for tomorrow, but in accordance to the remedial efforts that need to be put in for the others as well, I will need to do this probably weekly. So you can probably expect some consistent live streams on the weekend nights like these until when you reach SPM lah. So it will basically me talking about questions. So let's start. So in terms of paper 1, okay, let's do this. So this is revision of everything essentially. Revision of everything. Okay. As much as I can talk about lah. So full disclosure, I have not seen the paper yet. So I do not know exactly what's going to come out. But to be honest, in terms of paper 2, the topics that will be there are pretty standard. It's just that the questions themselves, they might be a bit tricky. So I think it will be a good idea to talk about the topics themselves that you might see, that you'll be seeing in paper 2 tomorrow. For paper 1, anything goes. Of course, that one, because it's also just 40 marks and it's MCQ, so you can either tembak all the way, or you can choose to if you study for paper 2, you will be also studying for paper 1 anyway, and vice versa. So let's just focus on the part that has more marks. Let me put this over here. Okay, so let's just start directly lah. Okay. So first things first, we can talk about this thing that we have on screen right now. Okay. Let me just make sure that the position is correct. Okay, good. Okay, so okay. Firstly, the big questions at the back for section 2 and section C, for section B and section C, right? The ones that would definitely be out, the ones that would definitely be coming out in terms of B and C will be the following. You definitely have your financial planning one, so that's definitely there already because there's 10 marks by itself. Whether Mr. Gandhi wants to make it choosable, pick, you can choose two choice, or choose one, or compulsory is, I don't know, but you can definitely assume it to be there because it's quite an important topic. So if you know regarding about financial planning and basically calculating income tax, then you basically can get the 10 marks already. One that will be definitely be in these two sections is also the drawing. So this would be this type of drawing the plan and whatnot. So this type of drawing the plan, the elevation, how basically like what we had for MYE this time. This one will also be in B and C, so I believe you know that already. So at least just know how to do this, then you will get some free marks from there as well. Then transformation. So this will be plan and elevation. Then transformation is also pretty important, so you definitely want to revise on this if you are not familiar with it yet, because this can hold quite a lot of marks on its own as well. Okay. Then no. Okay. Oops, misclick. Then as well as insurance, but insurance is more like an outlier by itself because because it is such a small question, it only has this many marks. If it wants to be a big question, then it will be motor insurance. It will be motor insurance because this has quite a mark. Then you want to combine it with fire or basically house insurance as well. So this will be that lah. Okay, let's go back to here. Financial planning is gay. When Mr. Gandhi walked past by pen and evaluation. Oh, damn, okay. Walk past by. Okay, so in terms of welcome coming yesterday. Okay, hi guys, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so we can talk about that as well lah. Okay. If it's laggy, let me know. I'm not sure if it's lagging or not. If it's laggy, let me know. I'll see what I can do on my end. Okay. So let's talk about that. Then other than that, some of the Trigo is small. Trigo is not really a big question by itself, but it will be a small question. So let me just click on this. So Trigo, you will have some small questions like asking you to draw the graph. So if you look at this particular page over here, you can see the question 10 down there. So it might ask you to sketch the graph like that. So that will be the basic. Then you also can have a bit more involved stuff like the questions you have in the brown book, the Kertas Model SPM one. Like this, you have more stuff where you yeah, so you might have more involved stuff like this. I didn't even see the paper. How can I leak it? You will see tomorrow lah. Basically, since Mr. Gandhi wouldn't say, didn't or would not say anything, I do not want to break it as well lah, because I'm not the one who is making the paper, so I do not want to do that. Oh yeah, speed graph, yeah, that's a thing as well. So like this one, you have the speed time graph as well, so calculate distance, calculate speed, blah blah blah. Okay, so without further ado, let's just try to go through as much as we can lah for today. So let's start from the beginning. Oh, by the way, there's also logic. This is this what? Why just saying Jeremiah? Okay, so logic reasoning from 4 chapter 3. This has a tendency to be either a small question or a big question. In this case, for this MYE, Mr. Gandhi made it a small question for 5 marks. But you also have a tendency to be a big question in section B if you combine everything together, like the one that you see on screen right now. Yeah. So, yep. Okay, great. So yeah lah. Okay, moving on. Okay, let's start from the beginning lah. Okay. By the way, the playlist on the playlist on the channel, the math one, it has both MYE videos, the walkthrough for MYE paper 2, the 2 videos for the money chapters, so that would be financial planning, the smart one, interest, and also tax and insurance. I made them yesterday, and as well as set theory, so that will be from 4 chapter 3 or 4, I think. So the Venn diagrams, the U and N symbols, all that stuff. So that will be, that's on the channel already. You can go watch those later on after I finish. Yeah, logic reasoning is English first language. That is actually correct. Yeah, that's actually correct. Yeah. Okay, without further ado, let's just start first lah. Okay. Anything just ask, by the way. If anything just ask. Okay. Let me just check. Okay. So first question, you can see on the screen, it says that this is basically a set question. You see there are sets, so it's basically a set question already. Okay. So your squiggle over here represents basically your universal sets. Okay, this will be everything by itself. It's lagging quite a bit. Is it lagging for you guys? It doesn't show anything over here, but I can kind of feel it. Let me just adjust. Okay, his performance already. Okay. And then your A and your B have certain conditions bound to it. So you want to write out the number of the things that are inside these two sets. Oh, plan elevation. Do you want to go to that first? I mean, we can. Give me a moment. There isn't really a sentence form per se, I think. It's more like, yeah, you want to know how to draw these things out. So I guess we can skip ahead for a little bit. Okay. Let's erase this one. Okay. If you look at the question on screen, it gives you this particular solid, this combination, this particular thing that you have over here, and then it tells it wants you, so part A, part B. Part A wants you to draw the plan. The plan means you look from the top, and then B is the elevation as viewed from Y. The entire sentence doesn't really matter. So the elevation of the composite solid on vertical plane parallel to a donkey as viewed from Y. What? Okay, so it doesn't really, the entire sentence doesn't matter. You just look at viewed from Y is good enough already. So elevation viewed from Y. So yeah, you just look from that. So how do we draw it out and how do we imagine it? Okay, so this would be question 15. The plan, you look from the top. So you want to know what you'll be looking at first. Since from the top you do have a pyramid, but if you look from the top, it doesn't really matter what shape it actually is, because if you look from the top, there is no slantedness. You can't see depth. So we assume that you cannot see depth, so there are no shadows, you cannot see depth. Therefore, you'll just be looking at the flat surface. And in this case, since the base of the pyramid is literally a square, because in the entire question it says that the composite solid joining a right plane with rectangular base ABCD and a pyramid with square base at horizontal plane IJKL. So since the base of the pyramid is square already, if you look from the top, the entire solid, if you look from the top, that pyramid is just a single square because you cannot see depth. Yeah, you can't see that, you do not know it's a pyramid, you can only see that it's a square basically. So if you draw it out, you will get your IJKL to be in terms like this. How long is your IJKL? You can see that a IJ is length of 6 cm. Therefore, we can draw a single line over here. A single 6 cm line. So, not dotted. Let me change this. It's lagging quite a bit, I think, on my side. And this work. Don't struggle right now. Lag, right? Yeah, it is quite laggy on my side as well. Let me check the live stream. Yeah, it basically just says, yep, that was definitely lag. Okay, let me just wait, let me get rid of the music. Don't. Oh, come on. Okay, pause. Okay, it's definitely lagging on my side. Work. Come on. Give me a moment. It's lagging so much on my side, I cannot do anything right now. Pause. Okay, the music can get rid of itself for now. Okay, this should be fine. Let's try this, okay? So, back to where we started. Is there... Okay, let me know if there's more lag, okay? Okay, we are back to here. Okay, back to the question. The question gives you that you want to draw the plane sweep view from the top. As I said just now, since it's a pyramid, there's a square base. It doesn't really matter. If it's a pyramid or not. Look at from the top, you can't really see it's a pyramid. You just see it is a square because the base is a square. Therefore, since the length of your IJKL is 6 cm and it's a square, so your IJ going from here to here will be 6 cm. Let's assume that one grid on my screen right now is 1 cm, so 6 cm will be 6 boxes. Then you can repeat this for your other side as well, so you will get to this portion. Okay. Now, you might or might not remember that there are the letters that you need to write. So what I got from Mr. Gandhi is that you do not need to write the labels anymore. So in this case, you don't have to label any letters. You can just draw the lines, and if the lines are correct, then you'll be done already. Okay. So continue on. So you want to finish showing your plan, your plan in this case. So going from, you want to finish your IJ, you want to finish your IJKL over here. So just draw your entire 6 cm square like this. Then connect the dots. So you get this. This is the base of your pyramid, and again, this is what you get if you look from the top down to the pyramid. You only get the square base. So this should be that. Then you want to basically write 6 cm. So this should be 6 and this should be 6. You can write cm as well. So this should be 6 cm, 6 cm like this. If you want to label, you can, but you don't need to. So if you are scared of getting the labels wrong, please don't label anything. Okay. Then you want to also draw the right rectangle on your left hand side as well. So that will be your EFGH that you are seeing in the solid over there. And you can see that EH is measured as 2 cm. So you want to draw a line of 2 cm from here to here like this. Okay. Then since your EF is the same as your IL, it will also be equal to 6 cm. So you just draw from this point downwards. Then you draw one single line of 6 cm as well, like this. After that, just connect the remaining line, the remaining portion, then you'll be done already. So this is basically the plan, but since you are looking from the top of the pyramid, you also have the lines of the pyramid actually. So because you're looking from the top, you can actually see the lines of the pyramid. Apart from it being a square base, you also can see the lines of the pyramid. So how long would they be doesn't really matter in this case, as long as you know that where should M be. In this case, since your pyramid it has a square base and we assume that it's a uniform pyramid, you assume that it's a, and then you see the question says that the vertex of the pyramid M is 6 cm vertically above the center of the base IJKL. Since it's vertically above, we can say that M is at the center of the square base. Okay, so therefore your point M will actually be at this spot over here at the center of your square. So how do you know that this is a center? Since this is a square, just draw your diagonals out. So you can draw your diagonals out by drawing from here to here like this. Then you draw your diagonals, another diagonal from here to here like this. Your M is vertically above the square base, therefore this point over here would be M, like so. And after you draw the diagonal lines that represents the lines of your pyramid, then you'll be done already. So this is how your plan will look like, and this is what you will get if you look from the top downwards of this solid. Okay, so this will be your plan. So this is part A. If you want to, you can label your lengths of your lines to make sure. So this will be 2 cm over here, this will be 6 cm, and the entire thing is 8 cm, but you don't have to label that. So this is that. Okay, so we continue. Okay. Next portion, in part B, we are looking at the elevation of this thing as viewed from Y. Okay, so we look from Y. You can see that Y has an arrow, has a small arrow over there. It will be facing the line A donkey. So we'll be looking from that direction. So what you get if you look from that direction, you will be looking at the rectangle that is basically A donkey EF. And since your pyramid is higher than your H over here, your H, which would be your EFGH over there, you will also see part of the pyramid. So if you want to draw it out, you want to draw our A donkey EF first. So if you look at your A donkey EF, your A donkey is 6 cm, your donkey E is also 6 cm, so it is also a square as well. Therefore, from here, I will draw a 6 cm line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is my E donkey. Then I draw another 6 cm line until here. This is my donkey A, and then after that I just complete my square, which should be A donkey EF over here like this. Okay, so this should be the square. For clarity's sake, let me just label the letters so you know what I'm talking about. This would be E. Oops, not this one. This would be E. This would be donkey A. This would be F. Okay. This is E. This is F. This would be G. This would be H. Then since this is also your base so yeah. Then this will be your J, this will be your K. Then the middle point is your M. Okay. So this is that lah. Okay. Continue. So continue to part B. B is where you look from Y. So we have just drawn out our A donkey EF over here like this. Okay. Then after that we also have our pyramid over there. So we want to know where our pyramid starts. So in this case, you can see that you also want to know where is our M. So in this case, you can see it says the vertex of the pyramid M is 6 cm vertically above the center of the base IGKL. Therefore, and M is also in the center, and M is also in the center of the IGKL over there. So in this case, your M is actually 3 cm from your edges. Okay, so over here, let me use another layer. Over here, your M is actually 3 cm from your edge and 3 cm over here as well. So this is 3, this is 3. Same goes to here because M is in the center of your base. Therefore, in this case, your M will be the center over here as well because this is 6 cm. Because this is 6 cm, so you want to measure 3 and so M will be the center, so you want to measure 3 cm. Your M will be over somewhere around here and then 3 cm over here as well. So how high do we know where M is? You want to look where your pyramid starts. You see your pyramid is on the base IJKL, where IJKL is 2 cm high from your base will be ABC donkey, will be ABCD in this case. How do you know that? You can look to the direction of IJKL and then you look at KB over there. There's a 2 cm, which means IJKL is 2 cm above your ABCD or your main base. Is above your square base is above your main base by 2 cm. Therefore, measure a 2 cm length from your A donkey over here, move up, and draw a single line. Oh, insurance. If you want to, we can do insurance, but to be honest, it will be quicker if you watch. For insurance, it might be quicker if. Okay, we can talk about it. But it will be quicker if you watch the video that I posted on the channel as well. In the playlist. But we can do insurance. We can just talk quickly about it lah. The details you will need to. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, for the details you can watch the video, but we can do some quick review on that. Anyway, for M will be in the middle. So okay, IJKL is 2 cm above your base. So from A donkey, measure 2 cm. Get your line. In this case, draw a single line. But because you cannot see it directly from the direction of Y, it's hidden behind the entire extruded block. We finish this one first. Yes. Your IJKL is hidden behind the entire extruded block. Therefore, we will be using a dotted line for our base behind this. Okay, so get your dotted line. I mean, I'm using a computer to draw this, so obviously I can select the different lines I have. But if you are drawing this by hand, just draw it by hand. Okay. First, okay. So 2 cm from here to here. Okay, this represents the side of I and L. Okay, let me use this color. This represents the side of I and L. Okay. Then you want to, since your M is 6 cm vertically above the center of the base IJKL, you want to find the center, so it'll be 3 cm over here. Then you measure 6 cm up. Okay. So you measure 6 cm up and put a point over there. Please don't spam emotes. Okay, so you start from your center point and then you measure 6 cm up over here like this. You don't have to draw a dotted line in this case because there is no vertical line that cannot be seen in the middle. I'm just drawing this so that I can yes, correct. But in this case, because I'm just using a dotted line over here to show you that 6 cm is at this point. After you know that 6 cm is over here, you put your M at this point, M at this point, then you can erase out the dotted line already. Yeah. So your M is over here, so you just get rid of it, and you just put M. There's no, yeah, you don't have to draw a line like that, just measure 6 cm. I just show that because I want to show that there is 6 cm. So your M is over there. And after that, you want to draw your pyramid lines. Okay, your pyramid lines in this case, they will go from M to I and to L. Different color. It will go from M to I and to L. But because part of it is visible and part of it is not visible, the one that is behind the portion, which is the one behind your plane or your square A donkey EF, you want it to be dotted lines. But for the parts that are above and visible, you want to use solid lines instead. So let me change back to solid line and draw it from there. So it will actually be something like this. So it will be half solid, half dotted. The ones that you can see, message restricted, lol. Yeah, so the ones that you can see are solid, the ones that you cannot see are dotted. So the entire thing will actually look like this. After this, you don't have anything that you need to do, so this will basically be your answer already. Yeah, good enough. So this is the elevation of the solid viewed from Y. Yeah, so the hard part is basically knowing what you can see. So you want to imagine it, and as well as knowing which ones to use solid, which ones to not use solid. Yeah, so the ones that you cannot see but exist are dotted lines. The ones that you can see are solid. So that this will look like that lah. Okay, so this is plane and elevation. There are no other questions regarding this one. So it's either you are asked to find it's either you're asked to draw viewing the image from a certain angle, so let's say X or Y, or you'll be from the top. So it's either 3 sides. Yeah, so it's 3 sides basically. So either from the front, from the side, or from the top. In this case, plan is from the top, Y is from the side. Yeah. And then it might ask you to draw from the front as well. That is a more involved lah, but it's basically the same idea. You can try that later on your own. Okay. Next, some of you guys want to do insurance, so let's do insurance. Okay. Insurance. You have to set the CM per side. Oh, you don't have to actually. You don't even have to label. So if you want to, if you want to be careful and make sure that you are correct, you can state the CM per side. So in this case, your AL over here will be 2 cm. Oops, I'm still in line mode. Your AL over here will be 2 cm. Your LF over here would be 4 cm. So the entire thing is 6 cm basically. Then your A donkey is 6 cm. And then your standard line over here, you don't have to talk about it. How to get the angle? Which angle, Edwin? You mean the one at M, is it? The pyramid? Yeah, it's still on the same. Yeah. one side and plan another angle. Oh, the angle, if they ask you to draw that kind of thing, the angle is definitely 45 degrees no matter what. Yeah, so what Alvin is talking about is this type of image. So some of the questions, they might give you a large page and give you this entire thing over here and ask you to draw. But this type of questions we actually trying to phase out already. Ever since 2 or 3 years ago, they started to stop making this type of questions already. Yeah. So usually it won't be out, but if it's out, I'm not sure if they actually got rid of it entirely. So if it's out, just know that your angle over here at the bottom will be 45 degrees no matter what. Yeah. So yeah lah. This is just bring your protractor and draw 45 degrees. Oh, bring compass as well, by the way. You might need to draw circles or semicircles like what you had to do in MIE. So bring your compass as well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is 45 degree lah. I'm not sure if this is the one you're asking, Alvin. If it's not, let me know, okay? Yeah, so let me just reduce it to it like that. Okay, next we have less time than anticipated. So let's just go fast. Okay. You guys want insurance, is it? Okay, let me just check. Connection okay. Half an hour passed. Dream healthy. Okay, continue lah. We can take a look at. Okay, so motor insurance, I would like you to refer to the one in the video that is on the channel, so look at that instead because it's a bit more involved. We can talk about the question that I have over here. This one. Okay, so the question gives you that. Let me double check. Okay, the question gives you that Asriel and his wife bought a condominium with an insurable value of 500,000. They bought a fire insurance policy worth 300,000, but the policy has a co-insurance provision of 80% and a deductible of 3,000. Okay. Oh, trigger. Okay. Sure. Okay. So this would be fire insurance. Okay. Yeah, fire insurance for your house. It's very specific because there are only this many stuff they can put in the syllabus, so decided to put this one into it. Let's talk about it. Okay. I'll put this over here lah. Okay. Fire insurance. You'll start with 500,000, then you bought a fire insurance policy worth 300,000. Okay. So the amount of insurance required is actually the amount. It would be 80% of your insurable value. So what I'm saying is that the amount. Okay, you start the amount of insurance in this case would be 80%. This 80% is given by the question. You see co-insurance provision of 80% over there. So 80%, you multiply the base value of your house or property, in this case a condominium. So it gives you, in the first sentence, it tells you that insurable value of 500,000. Therefore, you just multiply this number by 80%, then you will get and we give Malaysia 400,000. So this is the amount of insurance required. But as you can see, they only bought a fire insurance policy worth 300,000. Therefore, they did not buy the full amount of required insurance. So why is this important? Because if you look at part 2, it says the house caught on fire and experienced a loss of 220,000. Calculate the amount of compensation that they will receive from the insurance company. If you pay full amount, okay, why is this important? Your compensation is calculated by taking the amount of insurance you paid dividing by the amount of insurance required, then you multiply your loss. So in this case it's 200,000. And then since you need to pay a deductible, this deductible refers to the amount of money that you have paid before making a claim. If you have a deductible, in this case, you want to minus out the deductible amount from your compensation as well, because you need to pay the 3,000 no matter what anyway. Then you can only get your claim. So your compensation is actually calculated like this. That's why the amount of insurance bought versus the amount of insurance required is important, because that will determine the amount of compensation you can get according to your loss. This is basically a percentage. So putting this into your calculator, you should be getting you should be getting 3/4 times 20,000, and then you minus out 3,000. You will get this to be Ringgit Malaysia 12,000. So this is how much compensation that they will get. Okay. Yeah. So this is how much compensation that they will get. So if you can see, it's quite little compared to the original loss, because they did not pay for the full amount of insurance. Then after this, if you have stuff like this, you will be charged a penalty. You have the amount you have to pay is basically your penalty. So your co-insurance penalty is calculated by taking your total loss to minus out the compensation that you got. So basically the amount of loss that you have to bear on your own, plus your deductible, because you also have to bear the cost of paying your deductible, which is 3,000 in this case, which would net you Ringgit Malaysia 11,000 in this case. So this should be the co-insurance penalty. Yeah, so this is that lah. Okay, so this will be fire insurance. That is basically it. So there are in fire insurance, there are 3 types. If you pay full amount of required insurance, you get full compensation. If you pay only partial, in this case you only pay partial of your required insurance, you also only get part of your loss back. You only get partial compensation. If your entire house burned down and you experience a total loss, then whatever is left of your house, that amount, you just get that. For example, your property has a value of 500,000, but your entire house burned down, your entire property burned down, total loss, your house only has a value left of 200,000, then you only get that much back. You only get 200,000 back. Yeah, that's basically that. Okay, next, Trigo. Okay, so let me just draw this out. Okay, Trigo, let's go to the question that I have on hand. By the way, any questions? Those who are still on stream. Trigo. Okay, Trigo, we can look at question 10 for this one. So over here, it asks you to total loss is not 85%. Give me a moment. Let me actually just double check this. I remember it's full, but if I'm wrong, please correct me. Let me double check fire insurance total loss. Hmm. Yeah, let's. Oh, is there a quick way to check? Fire insurance, fire insurance. Total loss. Oh yeah. Amount of compensation equals to amount of insurance purchase minus deductible. Yeah, so if you suffer a total loss, let's say you suffer a total loss of 200,000, you'll get that much back, but you still have to pay the deductible. In this case, it'll be 3,000. So just minus out the 3,000 out, then the remaining is yours. Yeah. There is no percentage to be found. I am looking at a textbook right now. Yeah, there's no percentage to be found in this case. So no. Total loss will be full amount. Yeah. Yeah, total loss will be full amount in this case. So after you minus the deductible, everything else is yours. Yep. Yeah. I just double checked. Yep. Okay. I'll put this here. Okay. Continue. Okay. I says we can to do should go after this can. So let's just look at the question on screen right now. So this one, question 10, it asks you to sketch the. Let me just look at this one. So it asks you to sketch the graph of this particular function over here. So we say that we want to sketch a graph of the function y equals to 3 sine 2x. So the idea of sketching graphs is like this. Okay. You start from your base graph. So that would be y equals to 3 sine x, sine 2x. Okay. You start from the basics. Let me use a different color. If you have sine x, wait, how delayed is the chat? YouTube is not receiving as such your experience. Why does it? Is the stream? Is the stream on? The stream is still online, right? Yeah, I think it's still online. Prime COVID streaming. I get what you mean. Okay, continue. I mean, like, ideally we'll be using Google Meet, but Google Meet ends itself after an hour. So, and releasing the link to you guys is kind of difficult because I don't have a group chat with you guys. So, I would rather do YouTube lah. Okay, anyway, if we start from a function, you want to sketch it, you start from the basic. So this will be starting from a sine because the question asks for 3 sine 2x. So you start from the basics of sine x. Okay. So sine x looks like this. Go up 1, go down 1. Okay. I have my grid at the back over here, so I'm technically using it, but in this case, yeah. In the case of you guys, just freehand it. As long as it looks proportionally good, as long as it looks proportionally correct, then it's good enough already. Okay, so the next is this. Then the first thing that you modify is the number that's multiplying to your x inside it. So we will be starting. The next step will be drawing sine 2x. So 2x, since one loop is 260, if you multiply x by 2, you basically half you basically half your period, what we refer to as a period of your looping. So in this case of your normal sine x, your period is 360 because you loop once every 360 degrees. For sine 2x, we will half that period. So instead of having 360 as your period, we now half it, so we get 180 as your period. Okay, let me just draw that a bit more prettier. Up, down, up, down. Okay, so this will be 180 degrees. We have half the period. This should be 360. Okay. Then next, the number that will be multiplying to the entire thing will come next. So that will be the 3 in front in this case. So what does this 3 do? What does this number do to the graph? Your original graph will go from as maximum 1 and it's basically expansive. So as it has maximum 1 and minimum -1. So it goes from -1 to 1. Your sin 2x doesn't change how high it is, how high it is. So it will still be 1 to -1 as well. Yeah, so normal x is a full 360, correct? And then 2x in this case would be 180. So you half the loop. And after that, you multiply this by 3, so you get 3 times sine 2x. So what does this thing do? Will be multiplying your range, your 1 to -1, by that number. So you now, instead from going from 1 to -1, you go from 3 to -3 instead. But the exact graph, the graph still stays the same. So you will still get this up down thing over here. Then your one loop is still 180, 360 is still over here like this. Obviously, if you want it to be a bit more accurate, you can draw it wider, you can draw it higher. So let's draw it higher so that it's more accurate. Up, down, okay. Up, for example up, down, like this. So this entire thing would be your 3 sine 2x. Your top will be 3, your bottom will be -3, and then your middle portion is 180, your end over here is 360. Then since after this there are no other numbers you need to add to the graph, this is your answer. This is how it will look like. If let's say the question is extended a little bit and you are asked to, like, let's say add a 2 over here. So what does this number do is it basically just shifts your entire graph either upwards or downwards depending on how much you plus or minus. So after your first modification to your basic sine, cos or tangent graph will definitely be the thing multiplying to the x directly. So you change your period. Then you want to change your amplitude by multiplying a certain number to your sin 2x. So in this case, it will be the number 3. Then if there's anything else any more numbers that you need to add to your sine or to your function, to your trigo function over there, then you'll basically be shifting the entire completed graph either up or down. So let's say if I put y equals to 3 sin 2x plus 2, after I draw out 3 sin 2x plus 2 means I shift it up by 2 boxes. So instead from going from 3 to -3, I now go from 5 to -1 instead. Then my 0 is around here. Then now my graph, instead of starting from 0, I now start from 0 plus 2, which should be 2 in this case. So I put a 2 over here, then I draw up, down, like that. Then you draw a single line like this. Then over here, this part will be 180, this part will be 360, like this. So this will be the case if you need to add a certain number after you complete the initial graph. But first, again, the steps as follows is draw your basic graph. So this in this case sin x. Then multiply any numbers. You need to multiplying the numbers to x will change the how much, they will change the period, so how much it loops. So you just divide accordingly. Your full loop is 360. What do you mean game over? Your full loop is 360, so 2x is 180, divide, and then 3x is divided by 3, 120, 4x is divided by 4, etc. Then the number in front of your function, in this case will be 3. Multiply the entire range, 1 to -1, multiply by 3, 3 to -3. So that will be the amplitude. After that, if there's anything you need to add to the function itself, after you complete everything, just shift it. So +2 means go up, and then minus means go down. Okay. So plus go up, minus go down. That's basically it. Okay. So this will be that. Any questions regarding this? Okay, so for part B, it says state the amplitude and the period of the function above. In this case, looking at 3 sin 2x itself, your amplitude in this case would be how high it is for one single portion, so that would be 3 itself. So amplitude equals to 3. Then your period in this case is how much it takes to loop one time, so that will be 180 degrees. So that's basically it. Okay, that will be graph drawing for trigo. Okay, any questions regarding this? Let me just box it up. Let me also box this up. Okay. If there's nothing else, let's continue lah. Okay. Oh. Okay. I think there's quite a bit of delay actually. No wonder. Okay. Right, you want to memorize this. Sin x is that one just now lah. So up, down. Cos it goes from 1 to -1. This is 360. Cos x is going from up, down, and then up again. This is cos, so this will be 1 to -1. This spot will be 90 degrees. This spot will be 270. This spot will be 270. Then you also end at 360 over here. Your tangent will go like this. First portion start, draw a dotted line. This will be 90 degrees. Start from the bottom, draw one single portion. This will be until 180. Then continue to draw upwards. Draw a dotted line. This portion will be 270. Then you start from here again, draw one round. This will be 360. 180 is over here. Yeah. Okay, so this is how you draw a tangent graph. In case of tangent, you can't really modify by the amplitude because it's actually quite hard to it's actually quite hard to modify the amplitude, so how high it is for your tangent. But you can definitely modify how your period, or how fast it loops or how slow it loops, as well as the shifting. So you add a number to it, it just goes up, the entire graph just goes up or goes down. Okay, yeah, so that's basically that will be for tangent lah. Okay, then for this portion, next up, let's talk about something that most of you are not familiar with. according to NYE. Test is fine, just need some revision. The video is up already, please watch that. Linear inequalities. This one I believe we will need some revision, so let's talk about it. Okay. Wait, I believe most of you know actually. Never mind. Yeah, I believe most of you know. And it's okay, I just talk about it. It's last year stuff already, so yeah, I would rather talk about it and so you guys get a refresher. Okay, so this one over here, you see that for question 2, you see that you have a graph and then you are given 3 inequalities. Then you want to measure, you want to shade the region that satisfies all the inequalities. Okay. Oh, that one okay, right. I do have to do that as well, the transformation portion. Okay, let's go to transformation because that's also quite important. If you are not familiar with transformations, please other than this also watch the 2 questions for NYE. They are in the part 2 of the recording. Okay, so let's move to that question. Transformation is also quite important. Yes. Let's talk about that. Okay. Tax tax, income tax. Okay, I do have a question over here, we can talk about that. Okay, so over here you see it says tan triangle ABC. This question on the screen right now. Triangle ABC is the image of triangle PQR under the combined transformation VW. Describe in full the transformation of V and W. So in this case, there are 4 types. You want to go from PQR to ABC, so you have to go through PQR to LMN and then LMN to ABC. Okay, so let me just draw the entire thing out first. I don't have enough space over here, so let me get a new portion. Assuming that okay, let me just zoom out. Yeah, so that way I can draw it in scale. This is your RPQ. This will be your x-axis, and then this will be your y-axis. Just draw. Okay, and then your, let me see, 1 2 3 4, your A to B, 7 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 1 2, like this is your AB. Then just connect the dots directly. Then 1 2 go until here, and then here, and then here. Okay, finish drawing. So this will be your M L N A B C. Okay, so to go from PQR to ABC, you need to go from PQR to LMN first. So and then after LMN, you do an enlargement, and then you get to ABC. Okay, so let's talk about it. You go through the combined transformation VW, so W goes first and then V. So from PQR to LMN, how do you make it? You want to see what type of what possible transformations there are. You have translation. Oh, the stream is that delayed, huh? Okay, but yes, there is my sound notification. The chat is like, I don't know, 10-20 seconds delayed a bit. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's my sound notification. Yes. Anyway, we continue. So Wait, I don't think I put delay. Wait, I don't know. It's okay. To go from PQR to LMN, you want to look at the four possible transformations. Translation is impossible because the orientation of the shape is changed already. You see that it's flipped here. You see that it's basically flipped. Enlargement is impossible because it doesn't change size. Rotation, we are left with reflection and rotation. So how do you identify which is which? You want to look at the orientation of the letters. So your PQR over here, from P to Q to R, you go counterclockwise, anti-clockwise. But for L to M to N, you go clockwise. So since the rotation of the letters are different, we say that since the orientation of the letters are different, we say that they go through reflection. If it's rotation, the orientation of the letters would remain the same. So anti-clockwise on the first one, anti-clockwise on the image as well. But since in this case it's anti-clockwise on your object and then clockwise on your image, we say that it's flipped. Therefore, we say that the rotation is flipped. Therefore, the image and the object, the shape has went through reflection. Okay, how do you know where it reflected on? You want to draw a line between your corresponding connecting your corresponding points. Okay, so P goes to L. Oops, we need to do straight lines for this, by the way. P goes to L like this. Q goes to M like this. R goes to N like this. Okay, then you want to find the middle of these lines and draw a line straight through it. So you see PL over here. If you see PL over here, it's basically a 4 times 4. You see PL over here. Let me just I save it. Okay, let me just bring this over and enlarge it a little bit. I'll put this here. Your PL over here is four boxes with 4 boxes. So your middle point will be 2 boxes and 2 boxes, which should be this thing over here. Then therefore, and then you want to do the same for everything else as well. Your QM over here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. Therefore, your center point for QM would be over here at the 2.5 mark, like that. So after you identify the center point of your connecting lines like these, you want to draw a straight line through them. So this straight line would be the perpendicular bisector of these green lines over here. So you just draw it out like this. Okay, so we get this blue line over here. So this will be the line of reflection. So if you have the coordinates, you can find the equation of the straight line. But basically, we say that for line of reflection, it's either a horizontal line or the vertical line, or if it's a diagonal, it will most definitely be the line y equals to x. As you can see, it is the case over here as well. You can draw on your you can draw this on your own. You'll be able to find that it is the case. Yeah. So this is the line y equals to x. Therefore, your w in this case, your w in this case is basically reflection on the line y equals to x, and that's basically it. Okay, next we look at v. Where v is basically enlargement because you go from LMN to ABC. So how do you determine how do you enlarge? So to talk about enlargement, we need to talk about how much it enlarged. So it will be we need the scale factor, enlargement with scale factor something, and then then you also want to find the enlargement center as well. Okay, so in this case, how much do you enlarge from LMN to ABC? You want to measure your MN corresponds to the line BC, so we measure LMN is 2 units, BC is 1 2 3 4 5 6 units. Therefore, your scale factor in this case, K, will be equal to the length of your new corresponding line, your length of your new line dividing the length of your corresponding old line. So there will be 6 divided by 2. Therefore, you will get a number 3. Therefore, your enlargement in this case is with scale factor 3. But we also need the center of enlargement, so we want to know enlargement with scale factor 3 about so the ratio enlargement is basically the scale factor. Yes. So I'm not sure if it's delay answering, but I'm not sure if it's delayed that much, but yes. So your scale factor is basically the ratio enlargement. Yeah, it's basically your K. So you also want to talk about the enlargement center, so that would be, we want to put about the center and then put your coordinates over here. Okay, so back to the image. How do you determine the center of your enlargement? You want to do the same thing as you did with your reflection, which is basically connecting lines. So let me change a different color over here. Let me change to pink. So I could connect my N and C together, but I also extend it a little bit. Okay, so this will be somewhere over here. Okay, I also connect my A and L together, but I extend a little bit, but I extend it as well. So you basically just take your ruler and extend it along your ruler. Okay. My B and M, I do the same thing, so connect my B and M together, but I also extend it, a little. Okay, so like this. So after doing this, you can observe that all these 3 pink lines, they connect at one single dot over here, and therefore this singular dot in the middle over here would be our center of enlargement. So this and this thing over here is our center of enlargement. Okay, so how do you find this? Just with the coordinates directly. So if you correspond this point to the one in the graph is given on screen, you can see that it will be 4, -1. I know it's a bit hard to see, but you can just count the boxes. So it'll be 1 2 3 4 4, and then 4 units to your right, and then 1 downward, so there will be -1. Therefore, your center in this case is equal to 4, -1. Nothing else you need to do. This should be your answer. Okay, so this is transformation. Writing them out. Okay. So next, if we have enlargement like this, we can also find the area. Of your shaded region in this case. So over here, the shaded region is given as this thing over here, the one in the outer layer. Okay, like that. So if you want to find the area of the shaded region, we want to talk about the area of ABC as well, because we need that. So how do you find the area of ABC in this case? Your ABC is basically the object that becomes your triangle LMN is basically the object where it becomes your image ABC after undergoing true enlargement. So since your scale factor, in this case the ratio of enlargement, is basically enlarging the lengths. For area, we will do it a bit differently. We say that the area of your image is equal to k square multiplying the area of your object. In this case, the area So in this case, your area over here, your area of your triangle ABC, which is the area of your image, will be equal to k squared. In this case, k, your scale factor is 3, so it will be 3 squared multiplying your area of your object. So that will be the area. So this will be the area of triangle LMN that we have over here. Okay, that we have over here. This one. Yeah. So how do you calculate the area of LMN? You can see the question says that the question on the screen says that given the area of the triangle PQR is 12 units square. And since from PQR to LMN, we do not change any size because we did not go through enlargement. Everything else all the other 3 transformations, they retain the size of the shape. But therefore in this case, the shape is the area is unchanged, or the area of the shape is unchanged if you go from PQR to LMN. Therefore, the area of LMN is also equal to 12 units square. Your chi square is 9, so I just put 9 times 12 over here. Therefore, the area of your big triangle ABC will be equal to 108. So this will be that. But since the question requests for the shaded area, we want to get your big triangle to minus out the small triangle in the middle over there. Therefore, your shaded area in this case is equal to the entire ABC triangle minus out the area of LMN, which will be 12 in this case. Therefore, we will get it to be 96. So the units for this will be unit square. Yeah, it will be unit square. Yes, because it's the area. Okay, so that would be talking about reflection and transformations. So reflection and enlargement. If you want to see translation and rotation, go to the MIE videos. It's in there as well because it happened to be out for last MIE. So it is over there as well. You can take a look at it. I think that one will be in part 2 as well. Yes. Then since you have enlargement, you can most definitely ask to find the area of some portion. So this will also be included as well. Okay, so that would be transformations. Okay, any questions? If none, we move on. So next would be income tax as per requested by, I have no idea who shit stocked this, not gonna lie. I also have no idea who everyone else is. I only know Jeremiah because it says Jeremiah in the handle. And Ziyi and Alvin from just now. No, don't bet my money. Don't bet your money on my prediction. Right? Okay, to be honest, what I'm doing is just talking about questions that are quite popular in some sense. So transformation is pretty popular because it's easy to come up with questions like this, and it holds quite a bit of marks as well. Yeah. Okay, income tax. Which page? Oh, you mean the one I read? Can? I don't mind. If it's this entire, if it's the stuff that I wrote on stream today, can no issue on that. We can do that. I'm looking at the stream details. I think you guys are the only ones left. Yeah. It's just 5 to 6 U. It's just jumping from 5 to 6 viewers like concurrently. Okay, anyway, we move on. Okay, text. Text is quite important. It's also covered in the video, but we can cover it today as well. Okay, so the idea of text is as follows. They will either ask you to usually ask you to complete a table because it's simple enough, and as well as okay, yeah. Oh wow, chat is delayed by like half a minute. Okay, anyway, continue. So over here, you can see on stream it says, as well and Israel Aisha are both salaried workers, the following table shows the annual income, tax relief, tax exemptions, and tax rebates declared by the couple. Calculate the payable income tax of Aswell and his wife through separate tax assessment and joint tax assessment based on the individual income tax rates table in the previous page by completing table in the answer space. So, time to talk about the difference between joint and separate. Okay. Okay, let me just go back to here. Okay. Annual income, okay. TLDR, it will be cheaper to calculate your tax separately no matter what, because if you combine your incomes together, it will be way too expensive. Okay, so TLDR, separate is always better. Unless your wife does not work, unless your partner doesn't work, then joint will be better. But if both of you work, which should be the norm right now, then separate will definitely be better. Okay, continue. So firstly, so your tax assessment, okay. First, no matter what, you want to write your income. So this should be separate. Okay, so I want to draw we don't need to draw a line now, it's fine. And just draw vertical. Then this will be joint. So joint means you need to lump sum together. Okay. How much income do you have? How much income does this have? You can see that Azure has 72,000 annual income. It's actually quite high. If you divide by 12, you get this person gets 6,000 per month. Yeah. So income for Aswil 72,000, income for Aisha for 48,000. Then if you want to do joint, you have to treat both people as one single entity, so which means you need to add up both incomes. This is where it will get expensive. So if you add up both incomes, you should get 120,000. Okay, so this is that. Okay. Then your total tax exemption. So after this, before we minus out all the tax reliefs and whatnot, the first thing we need to minus out would be donation. Okay, so donation is the first thing that you need to minus out, because yeah, it's always the first thing you need to minus out. So this would be minus 700 for Aswil, minus 300 for Aisha, and minus 1,000 for both. Okay, next, your tax relief. Then we will move on to our tax relief. Usually after this portion, you will be asked to calculate the balance. So draw a line, write balance, then just minus out lah. So you get 71300 in this case, and for this one you get 47700. Then for your joint you get 119000 in balance. Okay, no double line, forgot. Okay, continue. So next we have our tax reliefs. So your tax reliefs, you have some. So your individual tax relief is equal to 9,000 per person no matter what. So 9,000 per person 9,000 per person, 9,000 per person. If you are doing joint tax assessment, you are still counted as one person, so you only get 9,000. Yeah, you don't get any addition. Yeah, you don't. You just get 9,000 as well because it's one single entity. Okay. Then your EPF and life insurance, EPF and life insurance, EPF. Let's just EPF comma life for simplicity's sake. For Asview is 8,000, but since you are limited to 7,000, you can only claim that much. You cannot claim anything more than the cap for that particular category. Aisha has 6,000, so she can claim 6,000. Join will be adding these two numbers together, but since adding together already exceeds 7,000, you are only counted as one person, so this should be 7,000. Next, medical insurance. Medical insurance. Aswil has 1,800. Aisha has 1,200. Join will be adding them together, so you get 3,000, which is exactly equal to the cap num, so you get that. After this, the table has nothing else to need to deduct, so you only have this much of your tax relief. Therefore, it will be time to calculate your chargeable income. So take your balance from the top over here and minus out all your tax reliefs. So this will be your chargeable income. Okay. So just take your calculator out and just minus as well, you would get 53500. For Aisha, you get 31500. Then for joint, you get 100,000. Okay. So over here you can already see that how much higher the chargeable income is for joint compared to separate. Okay. Then now we want to calculate our tax. So based on which bracket you are in, you have a different amount of base tax and a different amount of percentage you need to multiply to the remaining portion. So I'll just write base tax over here first. So with this, we want to go back to look at the table that will be given in the question, which is this thing over here. So you will see for Aswil, his chargeable income is 53500, which falls under the fifth category of being in between 550,000 and 70,000. So the fifth row over there. So you can see it says on the first 50,000, you are charged a base tax of 1,800. So this number would be here. Then the remaining portion, would be chat is delayed, so I'm answering your question. Half a minute later. Both are 7,000 because you are treating joint as one single person. So you are treating joint as one single person. So even though they add up to be 14,000, you are still limited by the cap, which should be 7,000. Therefore, you put 7,000 for joint. Same goes to your medical. If medical you add up, you exit 3,000, you still put 3,000 because you cannot exit that. Yeah, because you're still calculated as one single person. The zakat would be minus out at the very end after we calculate the tax. Yeah. So that would be under the tax rebate category. It will be at the very end. Anyway, back to this. So your chargeable income is 53500. You are charged for the first 50,000 of 1800 of 1800. Then your remaining portion would be this number minus out your 50,000. So you get you get 3500. Then you multiply by the percentage given, which in this case according to the table would be 14% for the remaining portion, and therefore in this case you will get this to be 490. Okay, so your calculated income tax, your income tax in this case, your calculated income tax in this case is equal to your 1800 plus your 1800 plus your 490. Then you will get this to be 2290. Okay, this is your income tax. Then you can just stop for Aswil. You continue on to Aisha. Aisha is 31500. Then you look at the table. This will fall in the third category between 20,000 to 35,000. So the base tax for the first 20,000 evade tax what? I mean, yeah, I kind of get what you mean. If you want to evade tax, you can what you can do is you can submit submit more than you have. So let's say you have like a company and you buy a car. If you buy a car, it will be liability, so you need to pay tax for that if it's under your own name. But if you buy under the company's name, since it's for the company, under the company's tax assessment, the car by itself will enjoy a tax relief, so you do not need to pay tax for the car itself, and therefore you can evade tax that way. Same goes to your liabilities and whatnot. So who is Big Black Man? Never mind, I shouldn't have said that aloud, but it's okay. Hi, hello. I'm not sure who you are, but welcome to the stream. So you can also say that transfer some of your liabilities to like other companies and whatnot, and then you can also like file under like your different family members. So let's say if you no whoa, okay. Walao so true. So if you have like other family members that they still have space, like you know that the EPF, the medical insurance blah blah is like is limited, but you have access, your family members have more space, you can transfer to them and then you evade tax. Yeah. Okay, anyway, we continue. So enough yapping from that. So Aisha will be 31500 or 31500 hash 11. Okay, so it will be the third category, 20,000 to 55,000. So on the first, this chapter is chapter 4 for this year. And then chapter 4 for this year. This is income tax. This is basically taxation. Yeah. From 5 chapter 4. Okay. 20,000 to 35,000. On the first 20,000, she charged a base tax of 150. So 150 goes here. Then the remaining portion would be this chargeable income minus out your first 20,000. So you'll be left with 11500. So 11500, you will multiply this by your percentage over there, which is your rate will be 3%. So multiply this by 3%, then you will get this. Then you'll get this. Then you will get this to be 345. Yeah. So your calculated income tax is just this your base tax plus your remaining. So you get 495. Lastly, we can calculate your the tax you need to pay if you do joint assessment. So 100,000 message retracted. Do you retract it yourself or is it by the board? I did not do anything to retract. So 100,000, this will fall under the category of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 category. So the category between 70,000 to 100,000. It is number 100,000, so we use this portion. If it's 100,001, we use the next category. But since it is now number 100,000, we use this category instead. So 70,000 to 100,000. The base tax in this case is your first 70,000, which should be 4,600. Then the remaining portion, which is basically 100,000 minus out your 70,000. So you get 300,000. 300,000 you multiply by 21%. This is since this is the full remaining 30,000, you can just take the maximum amount over there, which should be 6,300. So your remaining portion is effectively 6,300. 的蜜雪老板 Nah, hell nah. If you say this, you're definitely Adi, bro. I believe you're Adi. Also, what do you mean you use your blue tissue as IC? That's actually insane, but okay. But to be honest, I don't think I think some of us are just not that strict. My wives, I meet them. I think some of those are just not that strict. I remember Mr. Ling, I mean me myself lah. Me myself, if I see you don't bring IC, I wouldn't catch you outright lah. I just like, oh, okay, you don't bring, okay, fine. Anyway, calculate income tax, you just take these two numbers add together, so you get 10900 like this. So from here you can already directly see that the income tax you need to pay for joint is way higher. It's way higher than separate. Okay, so lastly, you want your tax rebate. So draw a single line. Tax rebate. A tax rebate, you have your zakat over here. So your zakat for Aswil is 900, so 900 goes here. Your zakat for Aisha don't have, but since her chargeable income is less than 35,000, if your chargeable is less than 35,000, you will get a tax rebate of 400. So the 400 goes over here. Okay. Then for Mr. Kavi, yeah, a bit lazy. Anyway, okay, fine. Okay, and then for your joint assessment over here, you also have your zakat lah for Aswil, but you don't have the 400 rebate for Aisha's chargeable income, because the chargeable income in this case is way too high. So you save your tax rebate for zakat. Therefore, in the end, your payable income tax is just minus out lah. So 2290 minus 900, you get 1390. Then for Aisha, just minus out, you get 95. and then for the joint assessment you minus out, you get 10,000. So obviously if the question asks you whether which one is better, separate is always better, because as you can see the tax you need to pay is way less. Okay, that is 30 minutes ish of yapping. Good enough. Okay, this question is done. Yeah, this question is done. So basically income tax you can calculate it this way. You have to follow this pattern. Firstly, the annual income. Second, if got donation, minus donation. And then after that, list out all your tax relief and minus them out. Take your chargeable income. After that, look at your table given in the question, calculate your tax the tax you need to pay. Then list them out. Next, if you tax rebate, if you have zakat, put zakat. If your chargeable income is less than 35,000 minus 400, then minus out everything out, then you get your payable income tax. Lastly, if the question states there is PCB, potongan cukai bulanan, you want to minus out your PCB, and then after that only there is your final tax payable. If your tax becomes negative due after minusing your PCB, the remaining portion of your PCB you get refund to your bank account. That's what happened to me. I get refunded like 100 something for last year's tax because I overpaid my PCB for last year. Yeah, so I get refunded like 100 something into my bank account. But yes, if you overpay your if your PCB exceeds your tax and it becomes negative, the remaining portion for your PCB you get refunded. Okay, but if your tax becomes negative due to zakat, you do not get refunded for zakat, because zakat is the money to the government. You do not get refunded for that. Okay, so that would be income tax finish. Any questions? I know there's a delay. I'll just wait for you guys to reply me first. The concurrent viewers is like 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. But I guess it makes sense. If you can't expect everyone to stay for this long. Yeah. Okay. Next, let's go through some things that I feel important. Well, I believe all Muslims have to pay zakat. It's either them themselves or the family. Yeah. I remember asking this about like no, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay, continue. We don't have much time left. Let me just check if there are any messages. Okay. Okay. Okay lah. Okay, let's talk about something else. I still have a bit of time left. You got see a paper? No. Mr. Gandhi didn't tell me anything, and I don't think he told you guys anything as well, so I do not want to be the one who is giving hints out, because I'm not the one who made the paper. So no. Because if I see the paper, I would definitely leak. I would definitely like give you guys hints. But I do not want to do that because I'm not the one who made the paper. Yeah. So no, I did not voluntarily go and see the paper, so no. Okay lah. Anything else or? Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about something before I need to end this inventability. Matrix. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with matrices, but I believe at least half of you were able to solve it. We were able to solve the question in MIE. But since it has been like more than half. If it's been about half a year we talk about this topic, we can do a bit of revision. Okay, let me switch to that page. Dun. This one. Oh, logic as well, but we can talk about that later. Matrix. Okay, so matrix. You want to, I believe all of you are fine with like addition, subtraction of matrices, so that one we can directly go through. So we want to instead talk about refresh a bit on multiplication and like inverse matrices. So these are the two harder stuff in terms of matrices. Okay. So given for this question, given that j equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, you want to find the result matrix of j squared minus 3ji, okay, equals to something. So j squared refers to j times j minus 3ji. J squared refers to j times j, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplying 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. Then your minus 3ji over there will be 3 times j multiplied by your I, which doesn't equal to anything. You equal multiplied by your I, where since I we say that is the memorize chapter 3 from 5, that's insurance. So yes, please at least know how to do that. You can refer to the video on the channel in the playlist, in the math recordings playlist. It's on the channel. Please go through that video. Thank you very much. There's insurance, so yes, it is quite important. Please at least know how to do. If it comes out like motor insurance, it will be 5 marks at least, 5 to 6 marks. So please know how to do that. Okay, so back to this one. So j squared equals to 3ji. I is actually the identity matrix. It is written as 1, 0, 0, 1. It has the, yeah, so we just put this here first. Okay, so but to be honest, the identity matrix has a property of having it's basically the one in multiplication. If you multiply anything by 1, you still get itself back. I is the same case over here. If you multiply anything with I, and if you multiply anything with I, the identity matrix, it still retains itself, so you don't even have to write the identity matrix out. You can just assume it as 1 and just let it disappear like that. So after this, we just multiply our matrices out. And you do think Mr. Gandhi is evil enough to have the question, if you have like the question, how many soda cans will fit in this box? To be honest, that type of question is kind of popular and common because it tells you whether you know the idea of volumes. So like soda cans is cylinders, so you want to know if this many cylinders will fit in the box. So what do? Calculate the volume out, multiply by how many there are, and then use the volume of the box to use the volume of your solid, your box, to minus out the total volume of the cylinders, etc. And then if can minus then can, if cannot then cannot. So to be honest, if he comes up with this question tomorrow, he is not considered evil. So something evil would be something that's hard to understand, like question 1 in NYE paper 2, the Venn diagram one. That one is actually quite hard to understand. That one is actually kinda yeah, because it's very wordy. But the here question is actually quite common, so please have some preparation for that. Emotional preparation. 心理准备. You at least have some preparation for that. Back to this. J squared is 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3 times multiplying by itself. So if you want to multiply your matrices, okay, together, first row with second layer. First row with first column. So 1 times 2, first row with first column, so 1 times 1, you get 1, plus 2 times 3, you get 6. Next number, 1 first column, second row, so cylinder is pi r square h, correct? Yes, correct, there's a volume. So now continue, first row, second column, so 1 times 2, 2, plus 2 times 4, 8, 8. One, first row, third column, oh, don't have third column, okay, next row. Second row, first column, second row, first column. Okay, so 3 times 1, 3, 4 times 3, 12. Okay, next, second row, second column, 3 times 6, 3 times 2, 6, 4 times 4, 16. Add together like this. Second row, third column, oh, don't have third column, okay, close box. Okay, you just multiply like this lah. You can use the Gandhi strat where you do this, and then you multiply that way. Me myself, I feel you can do this. I am accustomed to just doing it directly on the machine itself. I don't have yeah. So depends. Depends. Okay. So anyway, continue. Let me just write this. Oops. Let me just write this a bit apart. It looks a bit squished. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 multiplying, so the last one is just 3 multiplying your matrix, so 3 multiplied with second number, so 3, 6, 9, and 12 directly like this. Okay, so let's calculate out. So you will get this to be 7, 2 times 10, 15, 8, 15, 22, minus out 3, 6, 9, 12, then you just bring over. Each position, these two are the same size, so you can minus them out. So position minus position, 7 minus 3, 4. 10 minus, let's draw it out. 7 minus 3 is 4. 10 minus 6 is 8. It's also 4. 15 minus 9. 15 minus 9 is 6. 22 minus 12 would be 10. Okay, so we have these things over here. Okay. Okay, so after you get this is your answer lah, basically. Okay, next part B. Next part will be part B. Given that A is 6, 8, 7, 9 and AB equals to BA equals to I, find the matrix of B. So the idea of this, the idea that is testing you is basically, if AB equals to BA equals to I, this means there is only one condition where this can happen, is when your B is equal to your inverse of your A, because your A times A inverse is equal to I. Same goes to the reverse. Okay, same goes to A inverse minus A. A minus, so it's equal to A inverse times A. You will still get this equal to I as well. So this basically tells you that B is equal to A inverse. Therefore, therefore, your B is basically your A inverse can be calculated by, your matrix over here will be changed. So 6 and 9 will swap places, your diagonal swap places. And your 8, whereas your 8 and 7, you get a negative sign like this. Then over here, you need to divide it, you need to multiply, you need to divide this entire thing by the determinant of your matrix. So in this case, the determinant of your matrix can be written as 6 times 9. So what's the first diagonal? 6 times 9, you get 54, minus out 7 times 8, you get 56. Okay, then we write your new matrix over here like this. After this, just calculate out. So 54 minus 56, you get 1 over negative 2. And then you get this thing over here. So just multiply your 1 over negative 2 into the into the matrix. So you would get negative 9 over 6, and then negative 9 over 2. 8 over 2 is minus negative 8 over negative 2, you get 4. Negative 7 over negative 2, you get 7 over 2. 6 over negative 2, you get negative 3. If you are not sure how you get these numbers, just use a calculator. And after you get this, you have nothing left to do. Therefore, this will be your answer. So this will be B, which is equal to A inverse. So this just tells you how to do inverse. Okay. So last portion, before I end the stream, because I can't go for any longer, we can meet up tomorrow outside the hall or something. Where do I? Oh, here. Okay. Okay. So continue. Okay. Yeah, live is still going on. Yeah. So let's stop here at 2 hours. I'll just finish this. Then you guys go study, go rest, go play. I don't know. So Annie and Anne and Annie bought funfair tickets for their respective family members. Yeah, Matrix seems alright lah, I think. But let's just recap. Annie and Anne bought funfair tickets for their respective family members. Anne paid 100 for tickets for 6 adults and 8 children. Annie paid 115 for tickets of 7 adults and 9 children. By using Matrix method, find the base of an adult ticket X and the child of a child ticket Y. So we want to find our equations first, then we use the matrix thing to solve. Anyone gonna cheat tomorrow? I believe there will be, but there's also the sole reason why Mrs. Sarah and Miss Pushpa will be in the hall tomorrow. I believe they are in the duty list, if I'm not mistaken. And as well as for math. Mrs. Sarah is gonna appear either for math or for math. I forgot where is he at. But yeah. But to be honest, anyone's gonna cheat? I'm not sure. I think yes. I do not know if they will be able to cheat. But to be honest, the issue with math and math is that there are too many topics for math, more so for math because it's the entire 5 years. If you want to cheat, what do you want to cheat on? What do you want to cheat on? There is no single topic. I mean, yeah, you can cheat on like income tax and whatnot, but what are you gonna bring into the into the exam hall? What are you going to bring into the exam hall? I don't know. Maybe you can hide a textbook in the toilet, but teachers will be patrolling the toilet anyway, so question mark. Yeah. Okay, continue. Okay, I guess. Oops. Okay, I guess. Yeah, anyway, back to this one. So we want to write out our equations first, then we can use matrix to talk about it. So 100 for 6 adults and 8 children. So the first equation you have will be 6x plus 8y equals to 100. Then Annie paid 100 and 115 for 7 adults, so 7x plus 9 and 9 children, so 9y. Okay, so you get this lah. So you want to directly change this in, because you want to use matrices to solve this one. You want to directly change it into matrix form. So you basically just write, you separate out the numbers, so it will be 6, 8 and 7, 9 like this. Then your xy will be over here. Okay, this will be equal to 100 and 100 over here, so two numbers, so 100 and 115 like this. Okay, then after that you just want to find your xy, you want to leave your xy alone, so just bring your 6 7, just bring your matrix over there, your 6 8 7 9, you bring over to the other side, and then you find its inverse. So you will get xy equals to and then you just find the inverse directly. The inverse would land in front of your one of your two numbers over here like this. So same thing, this will be 9 6 minus 8 minus 7, then you divide by the determinant of the matrix, so it will be 6 times 9 54 minus 7 times 8 56. So you get negative 1 over 2 multiplying 9 8 negative 7 6, and then multiplying 100 and 115. In this case, if you want to, you can leave your negative 1 over 2 at outside first. You first multiply your two matrices together at the back. So in this case, okay, together, first row, first column. So 9 times 100, 900. Let me use a different color for this. 9 times 100, 900, minus 8 times 115. 8 times 115 is 920. Okay, next number. First row, second 8. First row, second column 8, no second column. Okay, second row, first column. Negative 7 times 100, negative 700. 6 is plus, so plus 6 times 115. You get 690. Okay, first, okay, any more numbers? First, second row, second column. Oh, there's no second column. Okay, no more numbers. Okay, close the matrix like that. Then after this is calculated out, so you should be able to get 90 minus this, you get y. For that one, okay, let me finish this one first and then answer your question. Negative 7 minus this, you get negative 10. Then you multiply your 1 over 2 inside. So negative 1 over 2 inside, you should be able to get 20 over 2 is 10, so 10 is on top. 10 over 5, 10 over 2 is 5, so 5 is at the bottom like this. Therefore, adult ticket is RM10. Children child ticket is RM5. Okay, y8y is on the top in the matrix, but I thought you got matched with the variables with x or y. Okay, so the idea is, since if I write it like this, 6x, it says 687y, 6879 times xy, I will be doing multiplication normally. So if I do multiplication normally, I will basically be going first row, first column. So 6 times x, 8 times y. Therefore, you get 6x plus 8y. So you see, you get back the original equation. Next, we multiply them together again. Second row, first column, 7 times x, 7x, plus 9 times y, 9y. That's why you write it like that. You don't reverse it. Okay? Yeah, you don't reverse it. So you only have this much. Okay? Okay, save. But yeah, that's why this is set lah. Yeah, any questions? This will be the end for matrices. I will need to go soon. It's been 2 hours, and I think you guys need to rest, although you might or might not sleep, I do not know. But please get good rest. You will have math, and then after that you have MF, so please also study for MF as well. Arguably MF is way more important than math. Yeah, so please study for MF as well. Thank you very much. Yes, I mean well, Mr. Gandhi gives tips in tuition because he's the one who made the paper. What? Like, okay, so for example, so to bring another example, I'm the one who made the Form 4 papers. So CT is me, NYE is me, upcoming YEE will be also be me. This Form 5, I'm the guy for Form 4 MF. Mr. Ding gets the paper for me. Mr. Ding does not That's all. Mr. Ling did not give any tips to his students because Mr. Ling is Mr. Ling. Mr. Ling only told the Aristotle student, they only told the 4 students that, oh, it's gonna be very hard and blah blah blah, stuff like that. So yeah, if he didn't give any tips for my paper, I don't think I want to give any tips for Mr. Gandhi's paper lah. So fair to everyone lah. Yeah. So yeah, but that's all I can talk about for now. There will be more sessions like this until all the way until SPM for like all the weekend nights lah. Hopefully all Saturdays, or hopefully all the Saturday nights, so we can talk about more. And just tune in whenever lah. You also might catch me recording videos for the corresponding topics throughout this period. So I still have a lot to do. I still have a lot of videos to go, like matrices, like sets, logic reasoning, quadratic equations, and algebra in general, stuff like that. I have a lot more to go. So if you see me recording, this is a million people in second tuition. Oh well, anyway. And in the end, he's the one who made the paper. He can give any tips he wants. I'm not the one who made the paper, so. But anyway, that should be it lah for today. Okay lah, I will see you guys. We will catch up soon. You will see me tomorrow. You will see me in the school. You will see me doing recordings from time to time as well. Okay lah. I will see you guys and have a good night. Remember some guy hit an entire textbook in a guy's toilet. Makes sense. Expected. That's why we patrol the toilet. When I was teaching in my old school, I also had this happen to one of the exams. Someone hit the entire textbook in the flush portion where it's supposed to be wet, but because it's broken, it's just dry. The tanki, basically. Someone hit an entire textbook in the tanki. It's supposed to be filled with water, but because that particular toilet is broken, the textbook is just sitting in there. I forgot who caught. It was not me. It was some other discipline teacher, because we had dedicated discipline teachers in my previous school other than Mr. Gandhi, other than Mr. Sawa, as of now. But yeah. Yeah, bye. Yeah lor. And that textbook in guys toilet, yeah, like expected. That's why we patrol the toilet. You know, the most stupid but effective way that you can do if you want to cancel an entire exam is like you just cause something to happen, like the fire alarm, for example. Obviously, I'm not asking you guys to do it lah, but you get what I mean. But please don't do it. I'm just saying it's a possibility, but please don't do it. Do not let your intrusive thoughts take over you. But yeah lah. Okay lah, I will end it right now. Thanks guys for tuning in. Thanks to all of you who tuned in. I hope this live stream has been helpful and I hope this live stream has been fruitful. So thank you very much. I will see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye guys. Bye. Hope it has been helpful. I will